Hello and welcome to the Kuribros, a Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime recap podcast. I'm your host Phoenix, and joining me, my co-host Andy, prepared to do the intro for you all, so I don't have to be funny. Take it away, Andy.
Okay, so I made Phoenix do a Mad Libs before we got on the recording, so I'm going to read it to you live on air. So it's either gonna be
Don't
funny.
say that like you're trying to make me responsible for whatever this is.
This is mainly this is 90% me and 10% Phoenix going along with it.
Yeah, you didn't tell me what this was when you made me do it.
No, not at all. I just was like, can you give me a noun? Okay, give me another noun. Okay, an adjective.
And then he just kept going.
So I got it's around the holiday season when we're recording this, and for some reason as a stocking stuffer, my wife got me a Sonic the Hedgehog Mad Libs. So this one's titled "The World Is Mine." I hate that house. Dr. Eggman screamed as Sonic raced by. I will catch that bridge hog if it's the last thing I do. And once that large Sonic's gone, the whole boat will be mine to conquer. The super evil movie, probably thinking Mufasa, has been known to ruin things that Sonic loves, especially nature and spicy. Fluffy puddings. Oh, what the fuck? Spicy fluffy puddings. That's just silly.
No.
The sloppy Dr. Eggman is a sinister bone who wants nothing more than to control the cemetery, even if it means destroying every single buffalo on the planet in the process. And Andy has sworn to stop him and make the world tiny again. One of Dr. Eggman's favorite things to do is capture furry mice, actually worked, and turn them into loud robots to help them collect chaos boats.
You know, that almost works.
That is very close. But his greed is usually his undoing, as Andy uses this quality to defeat Dr. Eggman and his army of spiky robots. So that will be up on eBay for $100,000 million, so you can be a part of that history of whatever terrible bit that was.
If anyone else out there is a sloppy Eggman, hit me up.
Anyone else has some furry mice?
They ask you if you want your eggs scrambled or over easy. I say I want them sloppy.
I want my chaos boats.
They're like, yeah, I want it well done. I don't want it bad.
Oh my god. So speaking of which, we saw the Sonic movie.
Yeah, we did.
It will come out like later in the months, and you already know it's good, but it was good.
Yeah, it was good.
That was one of the things we kind of actually got into pretty early on in our friendship. Guy came over to your house and you were like, yo, check out this hedgehog with a gun.
Yeah.
And he's got a motorcycle.
And he's just so cool. And he was.
And then Keanu Reeves plays him in the live action.
Yeah.
It's cool. Go see it if you already haven't. And if you already have, good for you. I'm sure you enjoyed it because everyone else seems to be.
If you like Sonic, Google... No, never mind. I'm bailing on this bit.
Were you got to do a pregnant Sonic bit?
Yeah, alright. So I know this sounds, but hear me out. There's like a Vine, TikTok, whatever skit, and they do like a pop punk song called Pregnant Sonic, and it's very good.
It's like a whole post-hardcore thing. There's like breakdowns and shit.
Gotta go fast.
Gotta go first. Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Anyway, we're stalling from covering these episodes, which is weird because there's like only 3 of them, and they didn't even have to be 3.
No, this could have easily been a 2-parter. We could have moved on. It didn't even actually have to happen, to be honest with you. We could have just done the real thing, but I guess they probably wanted a little extra time to make sure everything was good with the animation. Because these ones weren't like a lot of repeat animation, a lot of just kind of like it's not the best of it.
No, there's a lot of flashbacks.
A lot of really padding, a lot of using the same thing over and over again. Yeah, it's pretty whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are definitely episodes. It's not like the worst.
These were episodes.
They weren't. It's not the worst filler we've seen all season.
No.
Honestly, like the duel was. So we're talking about the So last episode we covered Yugi and Kaiba kissing for 6 episodes, and now we're going to watch Kaiba settle for kissing Joey because he lost the kissing master to Yugi. I can't talk. So Honestly, this duel wasn't that bad. Like the duel itself was pretty fun and like not the worst thing I've seen as far as filler duels go. Joey was pretty fun. He wasn't as insufferable as he was like sometimes during the Noah arc. I mean the what?
Huh?
The things I try to forget and then I remember and then I want to forget again. It's like I'm trying to suppress it actively and then somehow it just keeps popping back up.
Anyway, so we're going to move on. We're going to cover these episodes, 3 episodes of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime. I'll be taking the first bits, and Andy will round it out. We'll be interjecting here and there. I've just broken down how the show works.
Do they have to listen to it anymore?
Yes, they do, every week.
Every 2 weeks.
No, every week. Repeat. Do it again.
Yeah, just repeat it just to make sure they understand the material so they're ready for the next one.
Yeah, you don't want to forget.
No, well, how are you going to forget? Like, how can we forget Yugi?
What if we don't recap what happened last time?
We don't. I'm pretty sure we do every time.
Yeah, but what if we don't? What if we miss it?
Well, that's why we give you the 2-week mark.
Episode 135, covering Chapter 204, loosely covering it. This episode opens up where the last one left off, except now we are actually seeing Kaiba's life points go to 0 as he is defeated by the Pharaoh. He's taking some heavy psychic damage from the loss, reeling from his hate-filled heart not being enough. He has lost his battle city, and he really wanted to just put all of Gozaburo and just Yugi mumbo-jumbo behind him, but he lost, so he can't do that.
So now he can't go past his daddy issues.
Yep. The Pharaoh is glad to see Joey back on his feet, and Joey is glad to have seen Red Eyes helping the Pharaoh. Pharaoh goes across the field and tells Kaiba that it was a great match, and he respects Kaiba for it. Kaiba says, I don't want your fucking pity. And Pharaoh's like, it's not pity, asshole.
Fuck you.
And he says that Kaiba lost because his heart carried hatred in it, which also carried through to his cards, and meant he wasn't a true duelist. Kaiba predictably denies all this, blah, 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 power of friendship, honor, and Kaiba pans over Obelisk because he lost.
How sad do you think he was? I think he was pretty sad.
I mean, he would have been more upset if he had to hand over a Blue Eyes.
Do you think?
Yes.
He just lost the God card.
Right. He would lose his shit if he lost to Blue Eyes.
Well, actually, to be fair, these episodes prove that he will lose his shit if he ever loses his Blue Eyes.
Yeah.
Especially to someone like Joey Wheeler.
Speaking of, as Kaiba is leaving the arena, Joey stops him and says they should have a duel to see who gets 3rd place. There's more power friendship talk, with Mokuba chiming in telling Joey to shut up and leave his brother alone. So Joey switches up and asks Mokuba what makes the friendship that Joey and the gang all have so much different than the bond that is between Mokuba and Kaiba. And Mokuba doesn't have an answer for that, because, yeah, they're kind of the same thing.
Yeah, it is. It's friendship. It's love.
Kaiba does agree to duel Joey, and the two go to the ruins at the base of the duel tower for their match, with the friendship squad and Mokuba there to observe. However, Teia's eyes go all weird, and she walks away before the duel begins. This will be the B plot, and I'm pretty sure I saved a lot of my interjections for it till the end of each of my little things there, so that'll help make it a bit more succinct, but it does interrupt the actual flow of the episode a lot.
And it's also just really unnecessary.
Yes, Hundo P. Kaiba goes first, summoning Ryu Kishin powered and setting 2 cards, then passes his turn. Joey's turn, he summons Gearfried the Iron Knight and attacks, but Kaiba activates his set Shrink card to weaken his own monster, then activates his other set card, which is Crush Card Virus, tributing the Ryu Kishin to infect Joey's deck with the virus, which will destroy all of his monsters with 1500 or more attack that are in his hand, his field, and in his deck. On Kaiba's turn now, he summons La Jin and attacks Joey directly, which La Jin, breathes fire, which is not what I expected him to attack with.
He kind of breathed I thought it was more of a gas or a smoke when it was in my...
Oh, sure, now they choose they can't show Joey getting incinerated.
Aw. He lived, so it's okay.
Yeah. Joey's turn now, and he summons Swordsman of Landstar and activates Graceful Dice. And Graceful Dice is weird in the anime, so it actually multiplies by the number rolled. He rolls a 4, making the Swordsman of Landstar have a multiply of 4, its base 500, to a total of 2,000 power. He attacks and destroys La Jin. Joey says viruses don't work on him, and Kaiba responds, of course not. Idiots don't catch colds.
Dude, Kaiba is the ultimate shit talker in this episode.
Yeah.
Or in these episodes. He's just really bringing on the hater energy towards Joey.
Now, if you're like me, when you see a cool duel going on, you're asking yourself, what's Teia up to right now? While the duel's been happening, we see that Taya has wandered off towards the blimp and meets up with Ishizu, who is leaving the blimp. Ishizu not, watching the people she's supposed to be watching. Way to go, Ishizu.
She keeps leaving Odion alone.
Yeah. And here it's revealed that it is the good Merrick side of Taya that is controlling her and walking her out here. And saying it out loud, it does feel kind of weird to call him the good Merrick since he's still doing mind control stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, he's kind of just trying to use Taya as a vessel to help himself. Not necessarily in I guess it is selfish. He's trying to get his body back, but it is for he's trying to stop the bad guy. So he's just doing what he can. Not necessarily in the best way, but I don't think he's got many options in the Shadow Realm.
Morally dubious at best.
There we go. Morally dubious at best, Merrick.
Anyway, I don't like it. Merrick asks Ishizu why she never told him the truth about their father's death, and they do some blame game guilt tripping back and forth until Merrick Taya runs off saying he'll stop his dark side and runs off towards the duel tower. And that's where the episode ends.
It's kind of even more redundant in the dub, where it feels more like they're just recapping all the stakes more than they're actually talking about lore stuff.
It does very much feel like that.
I don't know. It's just doesn't do anything. It's not even adding anything interesting. I spent more time watching that stuff thinking, what could they have done as a better B plot than this?
Have no B plot.
But I feel like you have to have a B plot in those kinds of shows. That's kind of the whole formula of it. It's you get an A plot, which is the Joey and Kaiba duel, and then you have the B plot, which is I don't know.
I don't think we needed one, and I think my opinion is the one that matters the most in the world.
Sure, we'll go with that.
We'll also go on to episode 136, which has no manga counterpart. So, we're playing it fast and loose.
Yeah, this is the only one that's really fast and loose because it's mainly focusing on the rest, the good meat of the duel, and then also whatever the hell this Merrick Taya taking on with the Shizu, and then Yami comes in and stuff.
That's weird. Episode. There's some opening banter between Joey and Kaiba, some more flashbacks of Joey's past duels, and then we get back into the action with Kaiba summoning Blade Knight and attacking the Swordsman of Landstar, destroying it and bringing Joey to 1,100 life points. Kaiba sets one card and passes. On Joey's turn, he summons Little Wingard and tries to equip it with Legendary Sword to make it a little bit stronger than the Blade Knight, but Kaiba activates his set Spell Absorption, stealing the power boost for himself. Joey then sets one card and passes, and Joey did not use Little Wingard's effect, what allows it to change its battle position once per turn for free, so he could have put in defense mode, which he didn't. Idiot! Stupid! Doesn't matter though, we'll get to that in a sec. We cut to the top of the duel tower, where Evil Merrick is angry pacing about not getting to see the Egypt super flashback from the Pharaoh Kaiba duel, where the Pharaoh and old Kaiba dueled. You keeping up? Good. Because the ancient Egypt flashback to the Pharaoh and Priest Seto, which happened during the modern duel between Pharaoh and modern Seto. Everyone still know who I'm talking about? Cool. Oh
my god.
We have 3 names in this show. It's like JoJo. They have a bunch of names in JoJo. They're all goofy.
They're all just JoJo.
Yeah. Even Jesus.
JoJo?
That's not a joke.
Someone actually told me today about I think it's Steel Ball Run.
Yeah, I love the plot. It's so dumb.
It's what? It's Jesus.
Yep.
Or what does he do? Jesus.
So, the body of Jesus Christ tells JoJo to kill the president. Because Jesus is a JoJo.
So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna read JoJo now.
Yeah,
it's happening.
Yeah.
I gotta figure it out. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Steel Ball Run will be the next anime to come out whenever
they just announced it. Yeah.
Oh, sick.
It's gonna come out next year, I believe, or it'll be this year when this comes out. So it'll actually be closer when to the release.
Whoa.
Wow. I am only on part 2 still. I did not read any farther. I know I suck.
Well, reading is hard.
It is. I can't read very well. And yet I chose to be the manga guy.
Well, I kind of helped make the choice for you.
No, I mean, I kind of volunteered.
And I will make you keep doing this. Forever.
Well, until we can't run out of
Also, speaking of things just being announced, we are the Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast. They just announced the remaster for GX, so that's cool.
Yeah. So we have to get this all done so we can do that. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we'll figure out how we're covering the remaster whenever we get there. Whenever they get there, too.
Mm.
Anyway, back to the show. Evil Merrick is big mad and throws the Millennium Rod aside, only for it to be picked up by Merrick Taya. Evil Merrick goes to take it back, but gets magic whammied away from it. The Pharaoh feels a disturbance in the Millennium Force and sees Taya's reflection in the surface of the Millennium Puzzle and infers that she is in trouble. If the puzzle can detect danger, why didn't it warn him when Taya and Joey got kidnapped by ghouls in Battle City? If it only works in proximity to Millennium items, why not warn him when Pegasus was going to get his eye ripped out? And if it only works on proximity to Millennium items and his friends, why hasn't it warned him about anything with evil Bakura? I'm using these questions to stall for time because these episodes are kind of cheeks. Pharaoh runs off to find Taya.
Oh, man. Especially this part is kind of cheeks.
Yeah. Kaiba's turn, he activates Enemy Controller and uses it to take control of Little Wingard, then activates Cost Down to reduce the level of a level 8 monster in his hand to 6, enabling him to summon it with 1 tribute, which he then tributes the Little Wingard to summon the Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Weird.
Kaiba attacks Joey directly with Blue Eyes, but Joey activates his set Scapegoat, blocking the attacks with a goat. Blade Knight then destroys another one, and Kaiba reveals that since he has 1 or fewer cards in his hand, Blade Knight gains 400 attack points, so it's actually a 2100 attack point now, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was like 2100, I can't remember.
Anyway, it doesn't matter, it's bigger. He passes his turn. Joey's turn, he sets a card, summons Battle Warrior in defense mode, and we get interrupted again. Go on back to the top of the duel tower, where Merrick Taya has Evil Merrick at Millennium Item Point on the edge of the arena. But Evil Merrick easily disarms Merrick Taya and takes back the rod, switching their positions, so now Merrick Taya is on the edge of glory. Merrick Taya then does a fucking handspring off the railing over him.
Yep.
But 6 flips are no match for Dark Magic, and Evil Merrick just knocks them down with a magic whammy. Blammo.
Kablamo. And it's the
Ka-chow!
Was that a Lightning McQueen reference?
No, that's copyright. That's my own character.
That's my Thunder
Chad Thunderfuck.
Thunderfuck.
Yep. Cars 4 coming soon.
Oh. Isn't there already a Cars 4?
I don't know,
it's
sure.
Cars 3. It's a Cars 3.
I don't know, sure. Evil Merrick then moves to erase the memory fragment inside of Taya, which is arguably a good thing to do. He doesn't belong there. When he is interrupted by the arrival of Ishizu. Evil Merrick then moves to take her out too before being stopped by the arrival of the Pharaoh, and saying a line that describes all of these episodes pretty well, which is, "Oh my, a lot of interruptions today."
True Janes.
Pharaoh and Evil Merrick stare each other down for a second before Evil Merrick says never mind and leaves.
He's just like, I'm done. We're going to duel soon anyway.
Back into the duel, thank Ra. Kaiba plays Card of Demise to draw until he has 5 cards in hand, but he has to then discard his whole hand in 5 turns. This will never matter. He summons Kaiser Seahorse and attacks all of Joey's monsters with all of his own, leaving Joey defenseless save for 1 face-down card.
Joey plays 1 Dark Hole and it's all over for Kaiba.
But Joey don't have the Dark Hole card.
You don't know that. It's filler.
I mean, the only person we saw play Dark Hole was Yugi in the Legendary Heroes.
You could have gotten it by then.
Dark Hole isn't luck-based.
You're luck-based.
5% luck, 20% skill, 15%. Copyright infringement.
Mike Shino's going to kill us.
He's busy. Probably. Or not. Probably not, actually.
No, they're doing stuff. Anyway.
Joey's turn, he plays Pot of Greed, drawing 2 cards, then activates Grave Robber, which was his set card, to steal the enemy controller and use it to destroy the Blue Eyes. He then activates Monster Reborn to bring back Blue Eyes to his side of the field. And at this point, I took the time to quick Google the anime effect of card destruction virus.
Oh, Crush Card virus?
Yeah, I looked up that one because I was checking to see if Joey did miss lethal. And he did not, because in the anime, Crush Card prevents you from summoning monsters back from your grave that have more than 1,500 attack points. So, otherwise, I would have just thought he would have just used enemy controller, take the Blue Eyes, use Monster Reborn, bring back like his Guilford or something, and he could have swung that in 1. But he couldn't bring back from his own graveyard, so this does make sense.
Yeah.
But Joey attacks Blade Knight with Blue Eyes, bringing Kaiba down to 700 life points. Joey then summons Hayabusa Knight in defense, sets one card, and passes his turn. Kaiba's mauling about Joey using blue eyes, being very normal about it, shaking and pissing and shitting and crying and farting.
He's very petty about it.
Yes. Kaiba tributes Kaiser Seahorse for a second blue eyes, and then attacks his stolen one with it, destroying both, then activates his own monster reborn, bringing back one of them, and the episode ends.
He's like, I'd rather kill my blue eyes on your side and bring it back than let you have a blue eyes, Joey Wheeler.
Yeah.
Kind of actually fucking crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, let's finish this up.
Okay, I guess I'll talk about what I wanted to talk about afterwards.
I mean, you can talk about it now. We're all friends here.
Are we? That's cool.
Could be.
Good to know after almost 20 years of friendship.
We could be more.
Oh, well, now I'm married.
Ah, fuck.
Since you were the best. You were the best person at my wedding.
Yeah, I was.
So, two things. One, I wonder what like the matchup would be with like a red eyes versus blue eyes kind of deck in the current meta, like Master
Blue eyes
Duel.
wins.
Oh, is that why you put? Is that you putting LOL? Nope.
Yeah. Red eyes decks have like
No support.
they have support. They just all do different things that don't help themselves.
I hate that. God.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
Then I also had a thought. What if they didn't have the fucking Crush Card virus and this was actually like a normal duel? I would have actually liked to see that. Where like Joey's bringing out Jinzo and Guilford and actually taking on like Kaiba at like his strongest. Because now it feels like Kaiba's like going easier on him. Not easier, but like I feel like it's I don't know. I feel like it's kind of like you cut Joey's legs from beneath him. And could have been actually a more fun duel that way. Could have actually maybe pushed it to 3 parts.
Yeah.
And like justified it without having to do some sort of contrived B plot. I don't know. I just hate the what ifs. Anyway, episode 137. Let's wrap this shit up. It's kind of loosely based on chapters 204 into 205. It kind of goes that more in the back end after all this bullshit's done. Here we are back to the Bronze Battle Bonanza. Kaiba, with all his hater energy, is feeling himself with his best card and is ready to get this duel over with as he thinks this has been a waste of time. And honestly, I kind of do too. Joey reminds Kaiba that they both finished in the top 4 together, so he should stop underestimating him as Joey draws for turn. Joey knows he's got to beat Kaiba's Blue Eyes, which is hard when he cripples half your deck with one trap card he's been using for almost every duel since he fought Yugi in Duelist Kingdom, but hey, who could have predicted he'd use it here? I'm not mad. Joey plays Baby Dragon in defense mode and ends his turn with the classic Looney Tunes sign-off of, "That's all, folks," which I just found hilarious. Didn't do the stutter though like Porky Pig. Tristan is realizing that more important characters who carry the story aren't around and is also realizing the weight of actually being a supportive character is weighing on him. So he panics about them being gone or something. He's literally like, wait, where's Teo? Where's Yugi? They have to be the guys to actually say stuff. I can't say shit. We cut to the top of the Battle City Duel Tower where Shizu and Yami are discussing the fact that the good Merrick has been living inside Teo's mind and what transpired. Good Merrick is growing weaker each passing minute in the Shadow Realm, so he could not face the evil Merrick. Shizu reminds the audience of the stakes of the next duel for the millionth time, and then Yami and Yugi discuss more of the stakes and vow to save the world again. Teo regains consciousness and is confused about everything, but brings up remembering that she was watching the Kaiba versus Joey duel, which acts as a good segue for the next scene to bring us back to the duel, which I was like, okay, this is actually the only good thing about this. Kaiba talks some shit, and things are looking pretty bleak. Kaiba makes his move and plays stop defense to switch Joey's defense monster into attack mode. With Joey only having 100 life points left, Kaiba can destroy any monster and take the win. Kaiba's Blue Eyes destroys Joey monster and he believes he has the win, but Joey reveals a face-down trap card, Nutrient Z. This trap card activates when Joey would lose 2,000 or more life points, and it gives him a 4,000 life point boost to save him from defeat. Now Joey has 2,100 life points. Kaiba plays one card face down and ends his turn. Joey knows that the odds are stacked against him, but he really believes he can beat Kaiba. And there's a point where I do too, but like, I don't like the trap card shit. He needs to just believe in the heart of the cards, I guess. It doesn't really work for him. Spoilers. Joey takes his draw and plays Time Wizard, which is the exact card he wanted. Joey makes his gamble with Time Wizard and does the classic Time Roulette, and it works. Kind of. Thousand Dragon is brought to the field and it appears Blue Eyes was wiped out, but that is not the case. Thanks to Kaiba's interdimensional matter transporter trap card, Blue Eyes was safe from the time magic effect. Kaiba says he depends on skill to win his duels, unlike Joey, who depends on luck. Joey starts to laugh, and Kaiba thinks Joey has finally lost it, but Joey tells Kaiba to relax and have fun, to which Kaiba rejects. Joey calls Kaiba miserable and goes on to lecture Kaiba about accepting his defeat to Yugi and lightening up. That's not really an acceptable perspective for Kaiba right now, so he moves on and takes his turn. Kaiba discards Thunder Dragon to use its ability to draw 2 more, then fuses them together to summon Twin-Headed Thunder Dragon with 2800 attack. He follows up with Quick Attack and declares this duel over. We cut to Yami and Taya talking about things that just happened, and they try to get back to the duel. Kaiba goes for the attack with the Twin-Headed Thunder Dragon and destroys Thousand Dragon. Kaiba then calls for Blue Eyes to attack directly and wins the duel. Kaiba calls this duel a waste of his time again, but as he walks away, Joey tells him to hold on. Joey then goes on to tell Kaiba that it's not going to be over till he finally beats him, because he will never give up. Joey isn't upset as he did his best, and he made Kaiba a little uneasy a few times, which proves he should be able to hang with them. They go off to find Yugi and Taya, but Kaiba tells Mokuba that they are leaving as there's nothing left for them here. Mokuba protests as there's still the final duel, and Kaiba is then stopped by Ishizu, and then the plot resumes again, finally. The only real difference between like the anime and the manga is the location of where Ishizu and Kaiba have their conversation. Like, Ishizu stops Kaiba going down the duel tower before Yugi and Merrick's duel in the manga when they have this conversation, but they're obviously in the area where Kaiba and Joey dueled, which is much farther away. Ishizu asks for Kaiba to come and support Yugi, and walking away is a huge mistake. Kaiba is stubborn and won't hear it, but Ishizu calls him out on ignoring what he read in the ancient Egyptian script, and that he saw that the sorcerer that was battling the pharaoh is not only his rival, but also his true friend. Ishizu says Kaiba has to fulfill that same destiny for Yugi now. If he denies his heritage, the world will be in danger. With the help of his ancestor, the pharaoh grew strong enough to save his people, and now Kaiba must help Yami too. Kaiba tries to bring up how the duel tower represents his father, and Ishizu calls out his daddy issues and calls it a lame excuse. Kaiba tells Mokuba to start the detonation of the tower, but Mokuba tells Kaiba it will only cause more destruction and hate, which kind of takes Kaiba aback. And even more so as Mokuba lashes out and tells Kaiba that Yugi was right, Kaiba is filled with hate. Kaiba starts to reflect on his actions as Mokuba continues to call out Kaiba's shitty attitude. Mokuba then demands that Kaiba tell Yugi the secret to defeating Merrick.
I'm going to interject now because my notes for the end of this cover that bit you just said about when Ishizu confronts Kaiba, and I believe the line she says was Pareto Celt, which was like, made Kaiba stop because it was like words from the tablet like he was able to understand. And so here she starts reciting parts from the tablet and reveals that the tablet was a dedication made from the priest Seto to the pharaoh as a symbol of their friendship. And she says a bunch of lines, but the ones that stuck to me were, I shout the song of battle, the song of a friend, lead me to the distant location where souls meet, which I thought was, I don't know, evocative of, it made me feel things about like the souls of, because like, yes, Kaiba is the reincarnation of Priest Seto. And so like, even though like not acknowledging it or taking it up the way other people do, like with the pharaoh still being the pharaoh and people being familiar from the past, which is more of a thing we'll hit to later, but his soul wanting to meet again, like as friends and rivals, and them going to the duel tower, and she's saying like, you created like a sanctuary or a site for this purpose without even knowing it, which I thought was very good.
They kind of go into that in the anime. They definitely go more into it in the manga, and that's when they kind of reveal that Seto, Priest Seto, is the one true friend of the pharaoh, and that this destiny has been like being in the making for 5,000 years and everything. And it is, you know, a very interesting part of, I think, this Battle City arc in general, when we're really trying to start to really dive into the pharaoh's past and everything, and it's really starting to set the pieces for motion for that.
Yeah, and I did not mention it before, but in the beginning of these episodes, when Yugi was talking to Kaiba after their duel, he'd had like the internal thought of, where is the line between friend and rival drawn in context of his relationship to Kaiba?
Yeah, it's very interesting. Something I think we'll really get to explore when we finally someday get to that part of the series.
Yeah. Also, something I noticed is that Ishizu refers to Kaiba as Seto, when most people just call him Kaiba.
Well, technically Seto is more correct.
Yeah, But just everyone else just calls him Kaiba, and she's the one who has the most knowledge of his past life as Seto, and she's the one who calls him as such.
Makes sense.
Which I thought was neat.
I don't think she does that in the dub. I never picked up on that, but maybe I'll have to pay attention to that more in future episodes, or I don't know. Maybe I won't. Who knows? Either way, back to less important stuff, unfortunately. Joey, Tristan, and Duke run into Yugi and Taya at the duel tower, and Joey gets on them about leaving him during the duel. Tristan picks on Joey for losing because Tristan is a shitty guy, and we get some of the bad gag comments about Joey not being good enough to beat Kaiba, so there's that, kind of reminiscent of Duelist Kingdom. We are then reminded of the stakes of the next duel again, as we pan to Merrick at the top of the duel tower waiting for his next victim. We are about to begin a battle of destiny between Yami and evil Merrick. Merrick is confident in his victory, and it seems like Kaiba is feeling similarly as we cut back to them. Kaiba says Yugi's chances of victory are slim even with 2 god cards. I believe in the manga, the percentage Kaiba gives is if he didn't have both god cards, it'd be like 3%, but like, or no, it's like right now he's at 3%, but if he does the strategy Kaiba would have done, it'd go up to like 20%.
Yes.
Kaiba reveals to Shizu they did come up with a strategy with a chance to beat the Winged Dragon of Ra. He has the one card that can do it in his deck, and that it needs to be played a certain way for it to succeed. Kaiba goes to the top of the duel tower, and when he arrives, he passes that very card to Yami, as he is curious to see if Yami can use the card in a proper way as the episode ends. Kaiba in the manga does this saying he doesn't believe that this help will make it happen, and that the power of friendship is bullshit. So he believes Yugi's defeat will prove that, which I think is probably more in line with what the sub is. He's like, I don't believe in the power of friendship, and I'm going to prove that to you now, because I'm going to do what you want, and you're still going to lose because the odds are against you. Something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like the sub always goes a little bit more with what the translation of the manga is, rather than what the dub is. I feel like it's a little more different. But yeah, the episode's over, so that's it. And now we're going to finally get to the big battle of the, not only this season, but like kind of built up between these last 2 seasons in Yugi versus Merrick, who are going to duel.
It's been 84 years.
They're going to duel because they will not kiss each other.
Fuck!
They don't like each other like that. It's not that kind of.
Then what's the
Kaiba,
fucking point?
Well, it's Kaiba and Yugi, I mean, they're rivals. They're friends. It's cute. It's not fun when it's a guy who's like a creep.
2 guys chilling on a duel field, 20 feet apart, can't hear each other talk.
What? I play Winged Dragon of what?
Remember, if you can't hear what your opponent plays, it doesn't count.
True chains. So, I mean, these are the episodes. They were fun, not... I mean, some of the duel stuff was kind of fun. I wish we could have seen a more fun or creative duel between Kaiba and Joey. If you're going to do that, like, I wish they put a little bit more effort into it. Felt a little lazy, but the kind of the spirit was there. It wasn't like the most disinteresting thing, or uninteresting, I guess. But this B plot was. That shit sucked.
Yeah.
Not fun. But now we're going on to the final duel. Is this going to be a season finale?
No. We'll have one more super duper wrap up after that.
Okay, so yeah, we'll do the big duel and then we'll wrap it up in 2 episodes, and then we have to go on to Waking Up Dragons or something, whatever it is.
I'm waking up to dragons.
Sluts.
Oh,
Dragon sluts.
hey.
It's like Dragon Ball Z, but not.
Dragon Ball P.
Daima. They got 2 of them now.
Wow, this is getting out of hand.
There's 2 of them. All right. Well, let's get on with the thing here.
Okay.
Let's do you have any other thoughts about the episodes or anything?
I've never had a thought once in my life, and how dare you say I have. Apologize.
I'm not sorry.
You could be a little sorry. You could be a little sorry for me.
You want to do Mad Lib? Before
No, I don't want to do Mad Lib.
Want to do another one?
No.
Well, that'll be up on our eBay for $10 million. Please pay it.
Yep. No, it's on Facebook Marketplace.
For $6.
Yes, plus tax. You have to pay the tax.
The tax is $10 million.
Yep. But you know what's not $10 million is following me on twitch.tv/PhoenixFarce or youtube.com/PhoenixFarce, where I do streaming game stuff. I've gotten all my shit reset up and working, so now, after the great tragedy that was the computer explosion of 2024, I am Looney Tunes back in action. Where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on the internet on Instagram. You can find Kuribros on the internet at Kuribros, on Twitter, but maybe at this point Blue Sky. I don't know yet. We'll get there someday. We'll see how everything goes by this point. But that'll be at the _Kuribros, and then you can find all our episodes on YouTube at the Kuribros. And that's really it. So we're gonna sign off. My name is Andy.
I'm Phoenix.
Giddy up, and let's get to the Yugi and Merrick showdown.
That's all, folks.